This night seemed to start out calmer than others. For the first time, and it felt like forever, I had a normal dream. I dreamt I was walking through a forest when I came across a river with a bridge to cross it. Naturally, I walked onto it with zero hesitation. However, midway in crossing the bridge, a troll popped out of seemingly nowhere and demanded I pay a fee. Alright, how much? I asked. The troll then started laughing uncontrollably. It laughed so hard it started choking. It choked to death, and it lay there for a moment, lifeless. Then it got up, its body a contorted mess, and said, in a voice I was all too familiar with,
Your life.
After that, everything faded away and I woke up. I didn't know what to think. Should I be happy that it wasn't a dream like all the others? Or should I be upset that it distorted itself into a nightmare? I felt the urge to pee, so I rolled out of bed and onto the floor. At first, I thought I was just drowsy and my body didn't want to get up. But then when I tried to stand up, my legs gave away immediately. I cursed silently. Regardless of knowing what laid ahead, I decided to go to the bathroom anyways, just to get it out of the way, for I knew I was in for another long night. Suddenly, as I crawled into the bathroom, the door slammed shut behind me. I sat up enough to try the knob, locked from the outside, which doesn't even have a lock. Looks like we were switching things up for tonight. After I took care of my business, I checked around the bathroom for anything I could use as a source of light, since the lights went out. I remembered my mom kept matches under the sink, since power outages weren't common, but weren't rare. I lit one and found a scented candle to go along with it. I sniffed it. Pumpkin spice. Of course, Mom. The bathroom that I used wasn't too extravagant. It had a toilet, as well as a sink with cabinets and drawers around it. We didn't have a tub, only a shower with a tap at the bottom to make a very uncomfortable tub. I wondered what the demon had in store for me tonight. After a few minutes, I heard the sink turn on. I looked, and the handle was turned all the way. I quickly turned it back, but the water that was already there didn't drain. I saw that the stopper was blocking the water from doing so. I reached for the handle to pull it back, when I was astonished to find that it wasn't there at all. I even tried pulling the stopper back up myself. Nothing. It was jammed in. I heard the shower head click on. I go over and turn that off as well. I look at the bottom. None of the water has drained from there either. I tried to pull the stopper from there, but it wouldn't budge. Then, a feeling of dread crept over me. It was trying to drown me, in the slowest way possible. The toilet followed the pattern and the water in it started to rise, so I turned the valve to stop it. And of course, flushing wouldn't work. It felt like I was playing a game about escaping a flood, except I had nowhere to climb or jump to. It kept happening in the same order, and it didn't stop, no matter how many times I tried to make it. Sink, shower, toilet, 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 sink, shower, toilet. Soon, water started flowing out, starting with the sink, then the toilet, then lastly, the tub. The leaked water eventually conjoined at the bottom, and it didn't flow out into the hallway, nor into the electrical sockets. Come to think of it, electrocution sounds way more pleasant than drowning, but even if they were open, they'd probably just fill up anyways. It didn't stop. It didn't stop when it touched my legs, which were still lifeless. It didn't stop when it touched my chest. It didn't even stop when it touched my nose. But still, I was determined, so I climbed on top of the sink counter, water still rising, and waited. Listening to the splashing of the water normally would have been most likely pleasant, but to me, it symbolized my grave. As I listened to the water, the sound became distorted, and as I looked upon it, it became more blurry. Eventually the sounds became a voice, and the surface became a face, belonging to the demon. As my vision was declining, it spoke to me, clear as day this time.
Your fear will be your downfall. When I become free of this curse, I will murder you just like you murdered me. Until tomorrow, Joseph Sanders.
I woke up screaming. My parents came in to check on me. Then, as I started to calm down and think about it all, I felt something that made my heart accelerate like a NASCAR driver flooring the gas. I felt something wet. I felt urine. Normally, wetting the bed wouldn't be such a big deal, But in my nightmare, I went and had to pee in the middle of the night. My dreams were starting to overlap with reality. Thank you so much for listening. If you're listening to this on YouTube, then feel free to subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I release content like this. If you're listening to this on another platform, then do whatever it is you do on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, or whatever. You know the platform better than me. Credits to all the sound effects I didn't create will be listed and linked in the description. Huge thanks to my backpacker for making the art for this series. Inspiration for this project goes to Scott Cawthon's Five Nights at Freddy's and Q Code's The Edge of Sleep. Thanks again for listening, and have a good one. Peace.